Hello, good morning students. How are you? Must be good, enjoying your health, your life, right? So, today myself Rajesh Dadich, your mentor in English from Shivjyoti Educational Group Kota. So, students, today we are going to start your next chapter, and that is your chapter number 7. So, students, today we are going to start this chapter, and the title of this chapter is Evans tries an O level. Everything must be clear, right? By and by, we will be discussing each and every aspect, right? First of all, have a look at the image. What does it suggest to you? What does it give you an impression of and about? I think these are prison bars, jail bars, and somebody is there behind them. It means something is there in this chapter based on jail or prison, right? So, you are right, you are correct. We are talking about a person who is behind these bars, okay? And who is this person? Evans. His name is Evans Roderick, right? Or James Roderick Evans, right? So, Evans tries an O level. What is O level? So, dear students, in different sectors, in different examinations, different levels are there. One is supposed to clear, right? Suppose we are talking about computer science, then O, A, B, C. These are different levels: O level, A level, B level, C level, in this way, right? But here in this chapter we are going to learn about German, right? German level, German language levels, right? Means these are the levels that can give you certificate, that can certify you how many levels you have cleared in German language, and especially when it comes to German grammar, right? So, here in this chapter, Evans, one of the prisoners, is attempting to appear at this exam O level. Is that clear? So, students, let us have a look at characters, right? And this chapter was written by Colin Dexter. Is that clear? And before you read, should criminals in prison be given the opportunity of learning and education? Of course, this is one of their rights, human rights, right? One of their human rights. So, should criminals or should prisoners who are in the prison, should they be given this opportunity? Yes, right to education. This is one of the fundamental rights, right? So, everybody, anybody, anywhere can exercise this right to education. Next is, look, dramatis personae means characters, persons who are taking part, who are playing their role. So, they are known as characters, and dramatis personae means characters of the drama. So, we may say that this chapter has been given to you in the form of a drama, and this is very interesting, students. Don't be confused. No confusion should be there. This is very interesting, right? First, to begin with, the secretary of the examinations board, right? In our state, Rajasthan, generally two boards are prominent. One is CBSE, Central Board of Education, right? CBSE, so Central Board of Education, right? Then RBSE, Rajasthan Board of Secondary Education. In this way, and sometimes ICS or ICSE. So, it makes no difference what board is there. So, I am just telling you, this is the person who is the secretary of the examinations board for German language, right? The governor of HM Prison, Oxford. What is this? This is the in charge of this prison, and the name of the prison is HM Prison at Oxford. What is HM? HM stands for His Majesty or Her Majesty, right? Oxford, obviously in England, so we can talk about earlier from 1888 to 1896. This castle, Oxford Castle, remained as a prison. So its name is there, HM Prison Oxford. Is that clear now? James Evans, a prisoner, or you may call him a protagonist, main character, right? Some additional characters are also there, but he is the main hero, main character of this chapter. James Roderick Evans, right? He is the prisoner we were talking about behind the bars in an image. Okay. Next, Mr. Jackson, a prison officer, right? He is prison officer. Mr. Stephens, he is also prison officer. So these two are prison officers in this, right? Next, the Reverend S. McCleary, an invigilator. Actually, students, in Christianity, especially in England, where Christianity is very much prominent. So over there, some church people, high dignitaries of church have been given this title Reverend. Actually, the word is revered. Revered means highly honorable, respected. So, being highly honorable, they are given this title. The Reverend S. McCleary is one of the parsons or one of the officials, respectable officials from the church. And here in this drama, he is playing the role of an invigilator. Who is invigilator? Who conducts the exam, or maybe who is giving his duty for the invigilation. You might have experienced, you were in the examination hall and one or two teachers are taking care of all students and all arrangements, right? They are taking their moves here and there to see, to ascertain whether students are giving everything, whether students are attempting their exams honestly or not, right? So they are invigilators. Mr. Carter, detective superintendent, right? He is a detective. And Mr. Bell, he is also detective, but he is chief inspector, right? So we will discuss about them in the end, means when climax is almost there, then their entry will be there, right? Now, all preparations have been taken to see to it that the O-level German examination arranged in the prison for Evans does not provide him with any means of escape. Means all arrangements have been made. Means everybody is assured of all arrangements so that Evans, the main protagonist, means the prisoner, may not have even a single chance to run away, scot free, right? So it was in early March when the secretary of the examinations board received the call from Oxford prison, right? This Oxford prison is there. From this, the governor made a call to the secretary, telephone call to the secretary of the examinations board, right? And what he says, it's a slightly unusual request, governor, right? Then whatever this governor says to him, then in response this secretary now speaks. It's a slightly unusual request, governor, but I don't see why we should not try to help. Yes, just the one fellow, you say. Yes, governor. The secretary is saying, yes, the governor, I don't think there must be any problem, and there must be any problem for which we should not give any opportunity to this person, right? So I think we have no objection and he can take this exam, right? And I think, governor, only one candidate is there. Generally it looks unusual because whenever any exam is conducted, so many aspirants are there, so many participants, so many students are there, but right now he is just making it clear, only one student is there. Oh, that's it. Chap called Evans. Yes, his name is Evans, and started night classes in O-level German last September. Says he is dead keen to get some sort of academic qualification. Now the governor is saying to the secretary, yes sir, actually only one person is there and his name is Evans, and he is keenly interested in taking this exam, and for this purpose he has started night classes, and his classes have been going on, night classes for the preparation, right. So his classes have been going on since last September, means a tuition like private classes, right. We have arranged private classes for him, and he has had these classes since September, right. Is he any good? Is he intelligent? He was the only one in the class, so you can say he has had individual tuition all the time. Really would have cost him a packet if he had been outside. Yes sir, only one candidate is there, and we have arranged a tuition like classes for him, and he has been preparing for this exam. But I think it makes no difference to him regarding its cost of tuition, because whatever has to be arranged, we have done it. But so had he been outside the prison, had he arranged these personal classes personal tuition outside the jail, he would have to bear a lot of money, right. A packet means he would have borne a lot of money as tuition fee, right. Well, let's give him a chance, shall we? This is suggestion. So he is saying, okay, let's give him a chance. That's jolly kind of you, sir. What exactly is the procedure now? Okay, now the governor is asking, okay sir, so please tell me what is the process. Oh, don't worry about that. I'll be sent. Now the secretary of that examination board is saying, don't worry about that, I will be sending you all the forms and stuff, everything, every stuff means papers, documentation, everything will be provided to you through a person I will be sending, right. What's his name you say? What you said? I just forgot. Evans, right. James Roderick Evans, right. It sounded rather grand, such a grand name sir, but as you said, he is a prisoner. Just an irony. Just one thing, governor, he is not a violent sort of fellow, is he? Now the secretary is making confirmation, he is just confirming, sir, is he okay, is he peaceful? I hope he is not violent, because I have a doubt. Suppose one of our personnel came, one of the persons I am sending, so he may attack, or he may misbehave, or he may have quarrel or fight with him. So is he peaceful? He is clearing. Now I don't want to know his criminal record or anything like that, sir. Actually, I am not interested in his background, but I just want to know whether he is peaceful or not, violent or non-violent. Oh no, there is no record of violence, sir. Sit assured. Quite a pleasant sort of chap, they tell me. Bit of a card, really. He is quite peaceful, but he is a brainy person, right? And one of the stars of the Christmas concert, and off and on, he, according to his record, he has played so many concerts, and he is a musician or singer like person also, and he has performed so many things at different Christmas concerts. Imitations, you know, he is interested in mimicry also. Imitations, you know, the sort of thing. Mike Yarwood stuff, he has copied him also. And no, he is just a congenital kleptomaniac. Actually, sir, congenital means something like since birth, means like inborn, and kleptomaniac, this is a kind of disorder, psychological disorder. Kleptomania, a person who suffers from kleptomania is a kind of craze, a kind of mania, and it means as soon as you are not a thief, but as soon as you find something valuable, or something you are interested in, you just keep that in your pocket, right? You don't want to steal, but you are helpless. So such kind of people are known as kleptomania, right? So that's all. Only this is about Evans, nothing else. So you may be asked, what kind of disorder had Evans? So you may have to write, right? The governor was tempted to add something else, but he thought better of it. He thought something better, and that's why he stopped, and nothing else he told the secretary of the examination board. He would look after that particular side of things himself, and rest of the things he did not share with the secretary, because he thought, why should I tell each and everything to the secretary? I can manage, rest of the things I am capable of managing, so I'll do it. Presumably, said the secretary, you can arrange a room where he left it incomplete. I think you will arrange a room where we can conduct an exam. We can conduct this exam. Oh, no problem, sir. He is in a cell on his own. This is not a common cell who is being shared by so many people. No, he has his personal cell. So don't worry about that. If you have no objections, he can sit in the exam in there. Means he can sit in that cell and he can take the exam there only. Okay, that's fine. Why should I object? And we could easily get one of the parsons, means one of the officials from church, right? From Saint Mary Megs to invigilate. So who will be the invigilator? That is the parson who will be invigilating this exam. If that is okay from his side, oh, okay, fine, sir, fine. They seem to have a lot of parsons there, don't they? The two men chuckled, means whenever people indulge in pleasantly laughing, right? That is chuckling, and good naturedly, they had good nature, they were having pleasant conversation. And the secretary had a final thought, at least there is one thing. Yeah, one thing, you should not have much trouble keeping him incommunicado, should you? Only one thing is there, so please don't let him in communication. Incommunicado means he should not be allowed to have communication with other people. Then this invigilator means he should be allowed to talk to the invigilator only, not anybody else should be there in the examination cell. Nobody should disturb him or have any kind of communication with him. The governor chuckled politely, once more retreated his thanks and slowly cradled the phone and disconnected, right? And politely he thanked the secretary, and thereafter he disconnected the phone and cradled. Students, in olden times, different types of phones, landline phones were there, and one was in this way mouthpiece, and the second one was an instrument to put this mouthpiece on. So this is known as cradle and this is mouthpiece. So whenever phone is disconnected, we used to keep this mouthpiece on the cradle. So that is known as cradle, right? It used to be in the landline phones. Okay, students. Evans the Brick, as the prison officers called him, thrice he had escaped from prison, and but for the recent wave of unrest in the maximum security establishments up north, he would not now be gracing the governor's premises in Oxford. So he is saying कि actually because of some unrest outside he was here, otherwise he would not have been here to grace our prison, right? And the governor was going to make absolutely certain that he would not be disgracing them, means he would not leave any stone unturned in making arrangements so as to make the whole examination conduction peaceful, right? So that no disgrace could be there, no stigma should be there on his arrangements in the prison for the conduction of this O-level German examination. Not that Evans was a real burden. Actually, he was not a burden, just a persistent, nagging presence. Actually, his presence was objectionable, means nobody liked his presence. Actually, this was the problem only, and off and on he used to create problems. Otherwise, he himself was not a problem. He would be all right in Oxford, though the governor would see to that. He has to ensure that everything is okay, would see to it personally, and this time in the case of Evans, and when this exam is there, because it is the question of their reputation, image, prestige of this prison, Oxford prison, so he himself was taking care of everything personally. And besides, there was just a possibility that Evans was genuinely interested in O-level German examination, right? Just a slight possibility, very light possibility was there that Evans would be successfully clearing this exam. Just a very slight possibility, no problem. But since it was his right, so they had to conduct. At 8:30 p.m. on Monday, 7 June, Evans' German teacher shook him by the hand in the heavily guarded recreational block just across from D wing. Different wings are there, and a corridor is there. So this is a kind of layout of cells, right? So 7 June, Monday was there, and at night at 8:30, this person was there. German teacher shook him by the hand. He came over there to extend his greetings of best wishes, right? Okay. Guten Glück, Herr Evans. Actually, students, these are German words and they mean best of luck, Mr. Evans, right? All the best. Best of luck, Mr. Evans. Pardon? Actually, I just want to say good luck. Good luck for tomorrow exam. I am here to give my best wishes. Oh, thanks. I mean, or Dankeschön, means these are German words. Means thank you. Means earlier he said thank you, but he wanted to show that he also knew German language. So thereafter he converted. Dankeschön means thank you. You have not a cat in hell's chance of getting through, of course, but means this is an idiomatic phrase, and he wants to say, Evans, don't think there will be even a single opportunity for you to run away from here. This is not possible, right? So you will not be able to run away from this cell this time, okay? Okay, sir, let me see. Actually, I may surprise everybody. I also believe so, but stay assured, I am just going to give you a big surprise. Evans said, at 8:30 the following morning, Evans had a visitor. Somebody came to Evans, and two visitors, in fact, not a visitor, but two visitors came over there. In fact, he tugged his grubby string vest into his equally grubby trousers and stood up from his bunk smiling cheerfully. Oh, morning, Mr. Jackson. This is indeed an honor. So actually he was sitting on his bunk, and all of a sudden when he saw two visitors who had obviously come to see him, so Evans got up. Actually he was dressed in a very filthy dress. In a filthy way, he was wearing very filthy or dirty dress, and his dressing sense was also not good. But still, he wished them, oh, good morning, Mr. Jackson. One of these two visitors was Mr. Jackson. I told you, one of the prison officers, right? Two prison officers we talked about. One is Jackson and second one is Stephen, right? So this is indeed an honor. Oh, I am gratified to welcome you to my cell. Just a satire, right? So Jackson was the senior prison officer on D wing, and he and Evans had already become warm enemies. Actually, so many times earlier also they had hot exchanges of words, means a petty kind of quarrels, right? They already had, so they were not in good tunes. At Jackson's side stood Officer Stephens was also there. So I told you two visitors were there, Mr. Jackson and Mr. Stephens. They both were prison officers, right? A burly, surly looking man. This Stephens is a burly, surly, means very strong. Good physical structure was there, muscles were there, good height was there. So, in this way, he was burly, surly looking man, only recently recruited to the profession, and recently he had joined this profession, right? Jackson nodded curtly. And how is our little Einstein? Earlier, right, Jackson was there. Now Jackson is once again making a sarcastic comment. What? Wasn't he a mathematician, Mr. Jackson? When Jackson nodded curtly, and how is our little mathematician, little Einstein this morning then? You know, students, Albert Einstein, a great scientist. So, he is just making a comment. So, he is saying, oh, so how is our Einstein, great learned person? So, Mr. Jackson, don't you think that he is a great mathematician? Oh, I think he was, this is he, students, so don't get confused. I think he was a Jew, Mr. Jackson, Jews, right? Earlier in Germany at the time of Hitler, Jewish people used to be there, and Hitler was entirely against them all, and Hitler was entirely against them, and he wanted to kill them all. So, they were Jewish people. So, he is saying he was one of the Jews. Evans' face was unshaven, and he wore a filthy looking red and white bobble hat upon his head. A unique kind of hat was there on his head. And give me a chance, Mr. Jackson, I was just going to shave when you burst in. Actually, Mr. Jackson, you just disturbed me. Actually, I was just going to shave, and you came and disturbed me. Give me a chance to shave. When you burst in means all of a sudden you turned up unexpectedly, and whenever we don't like the presence of somebody, all of a sudden, so we use bursting. Which reminds me, Jackson turned his eyes on Stephens. I am reminded of something, Mr. Stephens. Make sure you take his razor out of the cell when he has finished scraping that ugly mug of his. Ugly, this ugly beard is there. So, after he has finished his shaving, so ensure that you have taken away everything, any sharp thing or any tools or any devices that can be used to cause harm to oneself. So, make it sure, right? Clear? One of these days he will do us all a favor and cut his bloody throat, and he may do anything wrong to him. So, please ensure that you have collected each and everything. For a few seconds, Evans looked thoughtfully at the man standing ramrod straight, ramrod like this. If this is, let it be the rifle, and in this way if I stand, so this is known as to stand ramrod, right, straight in front of him, who was standing, because he was a burly surly person, you know, quite long in height and good physical structure was there. A string of Second World War medals proudly paraded over his left breast pocket. This is the pocket, and here, you know, some army officers are there, so many medals are displayed over there, right. So, this is. So, Mr. Jackson, was it you who took my nail scissors away? Evans had always worried about his hand. Actually, manicure, pedicure, so like manicure, he was keenly interested in keeping his nails trimmed. So, he was just asking whether his nail scissors had been taken away. And your nail file, not only nail scissors, Evans, I have taken away your nail file also. Nail file is also a kind of device that is used to trim and shape. When we want to give a proper shape to our nails, this nail file is used. Look, for a moment, Evans' eyes smoldered dangerously, but Jackson was ready for him. Means Evans grew a bit angry, and his eyes contracted with anger, and he said something, as he was about to say something, but Jackson was already mentally prepared for that. orders of the Governor Evans. Actually, Evans, don't think there is any personal interest in taking away everything from you. No, no, no. Actually, we have got government instructions and governor's instructions to collect each and everything from your side and from yourself that can cause harm to your life, or maybe you can cause or any harm to yourself, and you may create such a situation that goes against you and you may get a chance to run away. So, we don't want to give you any chance. Orders of the Governor Evans. He leaned forward and leered, his voice dropping to a harsh, contemptuous whisper. You want to complain? So, in a contemptuous ways, he is just irritating Evans. So, he is saying, what do you want? You want to complain against me? Okay, you are free. Just go and complain against me. I am not scared of you. Evans shrugged his shoulders slightly. The crisis was over. But Evans didn't respond, didn't react, and he just shrugged his shoulder in this way. This is shrugging shoulders, right? You have got half an hour to smarten yourself up, Evans, and take that bloody hat off. Remove this bloody hat, this dirty hat, and you may make yourself smart as soon as possible, because we don't have much time. Means my hat. This is my hat. Oh. Evans put his right hand lovingly on top of the filthy woolen and smiled sadly. Do you know, Mr. Jackson, it is the only thing that has ever brought me any sort of luck in life. Lucky charm, this is, right. So, kind of lucky charm, if you know what I mean, and today I thought of keeping it with me, please. It being lucky charm, let me take it, let me keep it with me. Well, with me means with my exam and all that, please. So, buried somewhere in Jackson was a tiny core of compassion, and Evans knew it. Evans knew it very well that if you are using some kind words for Jackson, because Jackson was a compassionate person, so he was a bit of kind person. So, Evans knew it, and he used this language to melt his heart so that he may give permission. Right, students?